What's going on, everyone? It's Kochyy here, and as usual I have a banner analysis video for you featuring the new mid-month units for February, and this banner will be out on the 16th, a raid reset, and it is the 13 Squad Summons Ties of Friendship banner featuring Kaien, Yumichika, and Renji. So as usual, I'm just going to go over their stats and skills, and then we're going to look at their gameplay, and I'll give you my thoughts and impressions on them. So starting with Yumichika, this might be a little bit blurry, but it's okay. Also, before I start, just shoutouts to the Reddit, Brave Souls Discord server. It's where I grabbed these images and information below. So starting with Yumichika, he has 1063 stamina, 636 attack, 361 defense, 341 focus, and 769 SP. His soul trait is last ditch survival 100%. He has the hollow killer, and his skills are Sprinter +1, Long Reach 20%, Bruiser 20%, Frenzy, Devastation 40, and Debilitator 5 seconds. Other than the last ditch soul trait, nothing really else stands out. I'm not going to really go into the last ditch thing. I've mentioned that before in other analysis videos I've done. Don't really like the soul traits, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The skills, you know, standard stuff, they usually give that, and whatever at the end, it's either debilitator, or it's an immunity, or it's a weaken defense, or weaken attack. It's, you know, pretty much the same stuff at this point that we've seen. But other than that, that's his stats and skills, so we'll get into his gameplay. And we'll just full screen this. That doesn't work. Okay, here we go. So starting with his gameplay, they start up with his Nad string, 4-hit Nad string, and the last hit is a circular AoE around him, which is pretty, I guess, cool. Anniversary Ukiura has kind of something similar. What comes to mind, he has a little like AoE on the last hit, but I don't think it's as big as Yumichika's, so that's interesting at least. His SA1 is a forward moving dash, or like a lunge type strong attack, which attacks an AoE around him. Pretty standard. His SA2 here, you can see, if I go back a bit, it is a split attack. It is 3 kind of beams, or 3 I guess strings from your starting position. It's 180% magnification. It's similar to 1000 Year Blood War Kisuke's SA1, but the difference with this one, it doesn't seem to travel as far out or push enemies as far out. It's kind of, the range is kind of limited just in front of him. So in that respect, I guess it's better in that it doesn't just push enemies insanely far away from you and then you need to go up to them to kill them. But still not a fan of these type of strong attacks, especially on his SA2. And then lastly, I think they do his SA3 here. Yeah. And then he goes back, and then here's his SA3. So his SA3, he stabs his sword into the ground, and he does for the animation that plays out, it's these kind of vines, or like tendrils or whatever, from his sword. And it's not full screen, it's actually just 900 AoE. And one more thing I noticed is that watch his the cooldown when it starts and then when the attack comes out. So when he uses it, and then there's a bit of like a delay, in my opinion. Maybe not just delay, it's just that it feels kind of long for it to, before the actual attack comes out. So it feels slow is what I'm trying to say. But other than that, he has not frenzy. He does have frenzy, but he has paralysis on everything, so all his strong attacks can inflict paralysis with debilitator. He doesn't have it on his Nad. And then it's his SA2 again. And then lastly, I think they do his special right here. His Nad string one more time, and then his special. I wonder if I can... So that's a special. And that's pretty much it for Yumichika. So his SA1 is lunge, SA2 is a same as Kisuke's thing, split attack, and then his SA3 is a not full screen, but 900 AoE attack around him. Overall, for Yumichika, you know, there's not really too much to say. I don't think he's too great. I think he's just kind of like meh, mediocre. The soul trait is not very good. and the SA2 is not very good, and I think his SA3 is kind of slow. But other than that, also being a tech holo killer, in my opinion, I think full bring Ichigo is still the best tech holo killer for clearing content. If you want to go test him out and compare him to others. But other than that, that's Yumichika, so we'll move on to the next character. Alright, and the next character is Renji. Renji is a speed attribute character, and his stats are as follows. He has 1053 stamina, 638 attack, 354 defense, 351 focus, and 774 SP. His soul trait is strong attack recharge 12%. He has a holo killer, and his skills are sprinter +1, bruiser 20, frenzy, devastation 40, and paralysis and freeze immunity, and then weaken attack on his special. So just on first glance, being a speed holo killer, there's definitely competition with characters like 1000 Blood Warrior Yoruichi, 1000 Blood Warrior Shansui, and I don't think he will compete with those characters really, because I think they are better than him. But what's interesting to me is his dual immunity, and something I'll point out when we look at the gameplay. So might as well, we'll just go to the gameplay for him now. And here is Renji. Actually, I will just full screen that. Okay, so here's Renji. So they start off with his NAD, and you may notice that his NAD range is actually pretty insane. I believe it is 500 range on his NAD, which is more than Omaida, I think. Normal NAD range is like 375 for melee units. Obviously, ranged units function differently. But Omaida has longer NAD range, and his is, I think, 475, and Renji's is 500, so I think his is actually larger than Omaida's, which is pretty interesting to me. And then we'll get into his strong attacks. Well, that's actually that first room, so yeah, his first strong attack here, it's just a linear beam attack in front of him. It looks, I mean, you can't really see from this angle, but it seems a type of beam where it should just clear straight across like a map kind of, or like narrow rooms. So in guild quests, or even if they lined it up so it would go straight down, or if they lined it up so they were standing here and the mobs were here, it should go through the mobs and further on past the screen. So I think that's the type of beam it is. And will be okay for clearing like narrow rooms, but other than that, I don't think it will be very good in the larger rooms with lots of enemies spread out. And then they do his SA2 here. So his SA2 is a AoE attack around him. He just stands in place kind of, and I guess everything just explodes. I think this attack is about the same AoE as boosts and heals, maybe a bit more, but you know, the trade-off being that it doesn't actually boost or heal you, so it doesn't give any benefit, but the cooldown is lower, so I don't know. I'm not really a huge fan of it. I think it's kind of like mediocre, to be honest. And then his SA3 is a full screen, which actually looks pretty okay to me. And that's pretty much it, I think, unless... yeah, so I guess they just show his special now. Again, his SA2, and then his SA1. So yeah, it looks like it goes clear off the screen. And then his special, or his SA3, and then they did not show his special. They just use all his strong attacks. They did not give this much screen time to Yumichika. So his special. So that's his special move, and his special move does have weaken attack, which, I don't know, it seems like a pointless effect. But that's pretty much it for Renji. We'll pause this and go back. Overall, Renji, his strong attack 1, I think it looks like it's okay for clearing narrow rooms, but otherwise not too great. SA2, I don't think is very good. It's like a boost heal AoE. Obviously lower cooldown, but no benefit in the respect of like how a boost gives you extra damage and a heal heals you. I don't know, not very interesting looking. Strong attack doesn't seem that strong either. And his SA3 full screen, it looks okay. Overall, this character seems a little bit interesting to me because, like I said before, there are other speed holo killers like Yoruichi and Shansui Shun Sui, which are better, but I find it kind of how they've made this character. They gave him increased NAD range like Omaida. They have the same style SA3. This one is Zabumaru, kind of like his body, or like the length of his body is going across the screen, and Omaida it's like the chains from his Zanpakuto. And then they both are speed hollow killers. So I find it kind of interesting how they've done that. They've kind of made like the same character a little bit. And Omaida is really good at autoing hollow inheritance zone, especially with his NAD range. And Renji is a bit higher than that, and he has a SAR trait, so he can spam his strong attacks a bit more. And also he has dual immunities. He won't get frozen and he won't get paralyzed. So I'm interested to see how this character works for autoing inheritance zone. But other than that, not too much else to say for Renji. And we'll move on to the next character. Alright, and the last character we're going to look at is Kaien. Kaien is a power attribute character. His stats are as follows. He has 1059 stamina, 642 attack, 352 defense, 340 focus, and 778 SP. He has the strong attack recharge 12% soul trait. He has a soul reaper killer. So I've always been asking for a power soul reaper killer. I don't know if Kaien's the one that I'm really looking for, but I'm thinking more along the lines of someone like 1000 Year Blood War Toshiro or 1000 Year Blood War Renji, but power soul reaper. But anyway, his skills are as follows: Sprinter +1, Bruiser 20%, Frenzy, Devastation 40, Weaken Defense, and Paralysis Immunity. Again, you know, nothing really out of the ordinary or different there. But we will get into his gameplay and have a better look at him. Full screen, and there we go. So he is a ranged character, and that's his NAD string right there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems okay. Nothing really to say about it. I think they do pierce, the projectiles pierce, so that's okay. So I guess they should do his SA1 right here. Oh, they just clear the first room with NAD, okay. So here's his SA1. So his SA1 is the same, it's 18% magnification. It's the same as a Court Guard Squad Kaname and Bond Uryu. I should say more similar to Bond Uryu in the sense that neither of them have Havoc, so it's not as much range or AoE as Kaname's. But yeah, with these kind of strong attacks, the closer you are, the more hits you're going to get in and the more damage you'll get in. If you do it from really far away, obviously you're not going to get nearly as many hits or damage on the enemies in front of you. And his SA2, there it is. It is a moving vortex. So once again, similar to Kaname and Uryu, 20 hit moving vortex, no Havoc though, so it's only 425 AoE, I believe. I may be wrong. If I'm wrong about that, correct me in the comments. And then lastly, they show his SA3. So the SA3 is a full screen strong attack, which is fine. Looks fine to me. Let me just watch that back actually. A bit more. No, a little bit more. Yeah, it looks fine. Not really anything else to say about that. And then I guess they do their special. Or no, they do SA2 once again. And then it's SA1. His NAD string. And then his special in the next room. Damn, Yumichika just did not get this kind of time. So that's his special move, and I believe it inflicts weakened defense. I think it does. I think that inflicts weakened defense. But anyway, that's Kaien. So same kind of style SA1 as Kaname, same moving vortex, 20 hits, but he has a full screen SA3, and he has, what is it, paralysis immunity. So that's, I guess, something that stands out from him. But overall, Kaien, not really too much to say about him either. I think he's just kind of average unit. Overall though, I will say one thing, that the combination of his Moving Vortex SA2 and his SA1 make him good for a character in Guild Quest for building combo. So obviously most people are aware of this by now, but using level 1, not the typical Vortex character, not Tag Team Ichigo, or Rangiku, or Retsu. People use Valentine's Day Hallibell, people use Uryu, people use Kaname, people use, these regular characters that have 20 hit vortexes, and if you keep them at level 1 and you unlock Frenzy and Sprinter, you can actually use them to build up 1k combo when they are bonus units, and you get the bonus points as well. So if you're into that, then you probably will be summoning for Kaien. Hopefully you get him for that purpose, but other than that, average unit, nothing really that too special to say about him in my opinion. And that pretty much covers everything I wanted to say about this banner. So if you are summoning on this mid-month banner, I wish you best of luck. I hope you get the unit that you're after. I will personally probably just do like a multi's worth and just call it good. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it informative and helpful, and I will talk to you all later.